Okay folks, here we are. We're at the camp setup today. It's a nice Saturday. It's very cold up here and there's actually some snow flurries coming down, so this is really going to be fun. So welcome back to Discovering in Color. I'm the Gadget Man, and as I promised, this week we're going to talk about setting up our campsite. So we have our tent right here. This is our good old Eureka Marine Corps combat tent right here. So what we're going to do is we have our pad for the bottom, keep the tent good and safe, and we have our two pieces of tent that we're going to set up. We're going to pull out the body of the tent here. It goes on the bottom. We have our poles. And we have our stakes. And we also have the fly. So I take the bag and just kind of set the bag over to the side right here. And now what we're going to do is we'll do the fly last. So we'll set that off on the side over here. And we have our poles and our stakes. So step number one, we picked out a pretty good level piece of ground right here. We're going to set this up on. So lay out our ground cloth like so. Place the body of the tent on top of the ground cloth. Pretty easy. Now's a good time before you set it up to, if you got to move it around, you can move it around some. And now we're just going to spread it out. On this particular one here, the name Eureka is going to be the front of this tent, where you see the name. And then sure enough, done this enough times where all you got to do is find Eureka. There it is. There's the word Eureka. This is my entrance and exit that I use on this particular tent. And when I set the rain fly up, I'll make sure that the words Eureka are the same way. So we just kind of get it spread out a little bit, like so. And on this one here, before I stake it down, I'd like to put up the tent, the poles here. This particular one has 3 poles, and they're inside the bag here. Toss that bag to the side. These poles are all equal. So pole number 1, number 2, and number 3. So all I do is I put these together. Like I said, these poles are all exactly the same, so you don't have to match anything up, which makes it easier to install this at night. 1, 2, and pole number 3. And then we're going to install these into the tent itself. Okay. All right. So it's got 2 poles that lay diagonally and then 1 that lays across the front. So in this particular one here, I'm going to start with the front. Place the pole in. Actually, I'm going to use the cross pole first. Like so. Diagonal 1. Put that up there. Diagonal pole number 2. So we'll put this through here about equal distance. And then the last one is the cross beam. And it goes in like so. And I bring that in about equal distance. Okay, now I have all 3 of my poles installed. Now comes the fun part, where you have to install them into this little system right here. It's important. These are the hooks right here that the rain fly goes into. Make sure those are pointing up. And we'll do the same thing on this end here for the end. Once again, make sure the snap is pointing up, because when you put the rain fly in, it's going to snap into that. Now comes the fun part of actually lifting it up. So what we'll do is we'll just bring it up like so, push it through. This is probably the hardest thing about putting this up in the wind. and latch it in. Now, one of the crazy things about this tent is it actually comes, for some reason the government ordered them and are not sealed. So you have to get a seam sealer and seal these up. Undo the microphone here because it's all tangled. The first pull is always the hardest. And now you have to fight the wind and the tension resistance here. It's pull number 2. Now we do pull number 3. And you have to watch it with this wind and untangle yourself from microphone cords. And now we have fully assembled tent as far as the frame goes. Now we have to kind of struggle to get the ground cloth back over it. So what I'll do here is I put it up. As this is a freestanding tent, you can move the ground cloth and the tent to where you want it. Now I take the stakes and stake it down. Because if you don't, as you can see with the wind, it'll blow all over the place. Okay, for the main body, it takes 4 stakes. And these are the nice aluminum stakes they come with. I won't call them indestructible, but they're close to. Whoa. Okay, and there we go. You get all 4 of them in. Now all you have to do here is fine tune the ground cloth. And remember, the main purpose of the ground cloth is to protect the bottom of the tent. Because most of these tents are fully waterproof. So you're not necessarily going to keep the moisture from coming up, but really you want to protect from abrasion and moving around. Now, the last thing we want to do is we want to set up the rain fly. And as you can see, the nice thing about this tent is the only mesh is in the doors. So it's a true 4-season tent. Okay, and there's our tent. Ready to go. Nice vestibule. Here's our opening, and we're ready to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fine tune it a little bit, and then I'm going to get back to it and show you how I set the things up on the inside. Now into demo, kind of show you when I set this up, where I put stuff on the inside. So, first thing I do is, this is my tent bag, and this is the bag for the poles. I always put this on the inside of the tent at this convenient corner. Just drop it in. That's all you got to do. Now I have what I talked about before. This is the hammock field blanket, and we're just going to take that and lay that down on the inside. It's going to add a layer of insulation on the ground. One, like I said, it's a layer of insulation. And I'll take these gloves off because it's too cumbersome to work with these on. Okay. Just pull it out. So, once again, this is a cover. This cover is nice. It does have a little layer of soft stuff on the inside, so you could fill this if you didn't bring a blanket, a pillow. You could actually fill this with clothes and use it as a pillow. Take that into the corner. By putting everything in the corner, all these bags, I know that everything is in the tent and it's not going to get lost. If I can't find it, I know it's in the tent somewhere. Now we just lay this out. Okay, and now we just have an extra layer of insulation on the inside of the tent. Next we have the sleeping pad, and this is that Pongo insulated pad. And I actually brought 2 with me. I brought this Pongo pad and I brought my Thermarest pad, just because it's pretty cold out here. The Thermarest pad has a 5.7 R value. This one is not quite as much, but with that blanket on the bottom, we're going to try it out. So, in another video I talked about, I used one of my inflation sacks from my other inflation pad to do it. Well, I had enough points with Canuck that I actually ordered for free their inflation sack, because theirs is normally $25, but I had a lot of little club points with them or whatever they call it, and I was able to get this for free. But if you don't, it's $25. Everybody else gives this for free. All right, so now roll it out and blow it up. 1 bag. Two bags. 3 bags. Oop, popped off. So that's 4 bags. There we go. That's almost full. A little over 5 bags. This does have a one-way check valve. It's got 2 valves, inflation, deflation. They both, it's a one-way check valve. Now this one, always make sure your head is higher. So this is the higher part of the ground. Okay. Accessories. Inflation bag. Inside that bag and into the corner. It won't get lost. And now I put my sleeping bag out. If it were wet and rainy and very damp, I would probably wait to do this, but it's dry. Well, it's snowing. It's dry. So at this point, I'll take it out and merely put the sleeping bag inside. Okay. And when you put it inside like that, now you're giving a chance for the air to get into the down. This is the fire belly, the down quilt. Now this one here, I'm not going to open it yet. Hopefully I won't get cold tonight, but I should be wearing plenty of stuff. So that one I'm just going to put right over there in the corner so I know where it is. Once again, the bag for the sleeping bag into the corner. Now all of my bags I know are up there, so I don't have to search around for them when I'm ready to put all this back together. So there's a lot of other little stuff I'll put in here. I got the pillow. I'm not going to show you that. I have a light in here, and I have a light I put up. There's a little rack on the top there you can put it in. But pretty much that's it, people. That's how easy it is to set up your campsite. Anything else you want to bring in here? No food. Never bring food in your tent. You can just kind of put it in here and set it up and make it look however you want it to look. And I have extra clothes in there, and everything will be there. But that's it. Discovery in color. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you on the trail. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.